Good morning, what's shaking, what's happening? Welcome back to Tasty Bites Timeless Travels. And today is going to be day 7 on our Holland America world cruise around the world. Today is a sea day, but it is not a relaxing day. There's tons to do. So come join in as I show you around what a sea day is like again. Breakfast today, after I was guilted about not getting pancakes yesterday, I decided to get pancakes today, but they did only make me 2 this time. Thank goodness not 3, and it is not 5 pounds of French toast. And they only gave me 2 slices of bacon, so I guess they're figuring out I don't actually eat as much food as they are trying to give me. And then I got a nice little simple fruit bowl. Now, I'm particular about fruit. I cut fruit for Publix for 3 years, so I got to have the best fruit available, because you do taste it when you have that job. Publix is a grocery store in the South that does fresh cut fruit bowls. So I'm very picky, and I was kind of picking through the fruit, getting exactly what I wanted, and I'm very, very picky about watermelon, to the point that they asked me what I was looking for so they could go get more of it, and I had to be like, no, I'm good, because, you know, they're just so friendly and helpful here. But some little fruit today. I'm just feeling kind of like I wanted something fresh. Now, thankfully, we did not have any plans to be at the pool today, at least the outside pool, because the weather is looking a little rough. It's actually, we crossed the equator today, but it's kind of chilly out, believe it or not, to be this close to the equator. It's very windy, very chilly, but got a couple of lectures planned today. She's got a watercolor class. She's actually at church right now. They do church every sea day plus Sunday plus a Catholic mass plus they do this Jewish Sabbath service on Saturday, whatever they have for that religion. There's a rabbi, a priest, and a minister all on board. They will be with us our entire journey. So if you are a religious person and would like to partake in whatever service that you do, and one of those 3 cover you, then you're covered. So like I mentioned, we do cross the equator today, and typically you have something called a Neptune ceremony the first time you do that on a voyage, but they're actually not going to do that today. It has nothing to do with the weather. It was already pre-planned to not do that today. It did kind of surprise me, because the World Cruise, you can buy it as the entire 124-day shebang, or you can buy it in segments. And the majority of people we have met are getting off in either Sydney or Singapore, which originally we had looked at doing also, but then we decided just to do the entire thing. So to miss out on the Neptune ceremony, I would be kind of irritated. It is a fun thing, but they did leave us a note about it. So in the note, it does talk about crossing into the southern hemisphere, but they're actually not going to do the King Neptune ceremony until the March crossing. We do cross the equator a couple of times during this journey, and we've seen it. We did the crossing on our 35 night over to Hawaii, Tahiti, Marquesas. You cross the equator going down to French Polynesia and coming back up towards San Diego is where that one comes out of. So it's like San Diego to Hawaii, down to French Polynesia, kind of out to the Marquesas, and then back to San Diego. So we've seen it, but even our swim across the Panama Canal was different than the ones that we've done previous. So kind of interested to see how they're going to do it on this ship, especially because it's such a big voyage, but we will just have to wait until March. But right now, like I said, we had some lectures to go to. I'm going to one of the port talks. It's about Ecuador. We're going to Manta, Ecuador tomorrow. It is scheduled, or not scheduled, but it does appear that it's going to rain, but never been to Ecuador. We have our new 3XL ponchos. Holland does provide umbrellas in every room also. So we're just going to make the best of it, because I don't know when I'm ever going to make it back down to Ecuador. No, it's one of those places I never thought I would go. So we're going to brave the rain and go into Ecuador. So I use this website called What's in Port to kind of help figure out ports of call that we've never been to, that are not super touristy, that you're not going to see regular on the Facebook groups. And when I looked at it, it looks like it should be fairly easy to navigate, that there's a shuttle that's going to take us right into the middle of town, and there's shopping and this, that, and the other. But I'm still going to go ahead and go to Kimberly's Port Talk because, first off, I think she's actually been here, which is always nice to hear someone that's been here. And then second, just make sure that we're not getting into more than we can handle. It does look like they take American dollars everywhere because as far as currency is concerned, I only brought American dollars and I brought euros. And then if I need anything else, I'll just exchange on the ship. But for my research, if I had American dollars and I had euros, I was pretty set with the exception of Egypt and Singapore. Egypt, we're going to do an all-inclusive tour and they'll take American dollars for the tip. In Singapore, I downloaded their rideshare app and I think we're just going to go to Universal Orlando, so I don't actually need Singapore dollars for them because we're not doing anything small. Universal Parks will take credit card. Apparently credit card's not very accepted in Singapore, is what I've read. Don't know, guess I'll find out. But as far as today, I'm going to go to the Port Talk and then I'm going to go to the 1 o'clock lecture about how it was to go around the world 500 years ago as opposed to how it is to go around the world today. Not the most enthralling of subjects probably if I was 20 years younger, but for this one, because I'm actually going around the world, it sounds kind of neat. So that's what we currently have planned. C is at church. She's got a watercolor class today. And then we are going to hit up the hydro pool. All right, we are done with the Port Talk. It was really, really interesting. I had read some things on the internet about things to do in Manta, but I'm kind of glad I went. She talked a lot about what to expect for cab fare, and then her biggest hot tip was, yes, they take US dollars. It's 1-for-1 ratio, so if it's $5, it's $5. She said, but they're very strict about their bills. It was also going to be the same way in Lima, Peru, so to check all of your bills, make sure you have small bills, which I did get small bills from the bank before we left because I knew of tips and things like that. I was going to need small bills and in foreign countries, small bills, but I need to go check the quality of these bills. She said if they're folded, if they have little edges, if there's writing, they can say no. So when you come to South America, if you're going to a country that takes U.S. currency, small, crisp bills are the way to go. Also, remember when I said with World Cruises, take things with a grain of salt? But we're actually supposed to do a cooking demo at 10 o'clock today, and the chef that was supposed to join did not make the ship in Grand Cayman, so I think they were supposed to join in Grand Cayman. I don't think they were left behind in Grand Cayman. I just think they never showed up, and then they didn't make it to Costa Rica, so they had to cancel that presentation because they bring on guest chefs from the different regions of the world for the World Cruise. It's not just the regular head chef of the ship saying how to cook a piece of fish, which is typically what the Holland cooking demonstrations have been on the last two that we've been to, but these are special guest chefs and this one didn't make it, so that is going to be rescheduled. It did cause a very busy Port Talk today. There was not a seat available by the end of it, but Manta's also not somewhere that a lot of people knew about, and the big thing to do is actually it's a launching point to get to the Galapagos Islands, which is a major reason for the stop. We actually dock at 4 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. I will not be leaving the ship at 4 a.m. But it was a good talk. But definitely grain of salt with some of the activities because they are. And in any Holland sailing, the activities can shift around based upon weather. If people are sick, one time we were at one and the World Stage show, their production show had to get moved because one of the dancers had gotten dehydrated and heat exhaustion in one of the ports. So always, anytime with cruising, got to stay fluid. It's just if you're so rigid and your heart's so set on something, it can be very disappointing. So have a certain amount of grace and fluidity with your travels. All right, so for lunch today, Holland does a special showcase kitchen kind of deal on C Day. So today it was the ceviche bar. So C has gotten her some fresh ceviche. The ceviche bar also had beef empanadas. That looks like a little cookie. I don't know what that is. She's the one who went up there, but that's what she grabbed. And then I grabbed some fresh pizza. And then the Asian line was calling my name today. Shrimp Szechuan, Mongolian beef, pork katsu, some rice and noodles, and some vegetables. So another delicious Lido lunch. All right, so the ceviche didn't really tickle C's fancy, so she went back. She got a whole bunch of little vegan salads, some potato salads, some applesauce, some corn salsa, some little gherkin pickle thingamabobs. They look good, nice and fresh. And then on the main line today, they have a breaded pork and then cabbage and onions. I might actually go back and get me some cabbage and onions. They are looking real good. So C really wanted me to show her dessert today. Neither of us were really thrilled with lunch, so this might be a double dessert day for me too. But she got a vegan passion fruit pudding with sprinkles, marshmallows, fresh fruit. It looks like a straight up ice cream sundae. It does look pretty delicious, so hopefully that will satisfy, because like I said, the lunch today, it just really didn't cut it for us. Now for my dessert at the lunch today, I got some bread pudding and a peanut butter cookie. Now, Holland is known for their bread pudding. They do it in several different flavors in the main dining room. They've got a different flavor for lunch and dinner every day. And their peanut butter cookies are amazing. So, even though lunch wasn't our favorite, dessert is killing it. You see this beautiful bread basket, you know what time it is. It's main dining room dinner time with the best softy rolls that have ever existed. Now, C decided to start her meal with this beautiful Aperol Spritz. Now, I am not a drinker, I have said that, but C does like a good cocktail every now and again. Now, not making fun of her, but she's kind of an old person, drink person, gin and tonic. But tonight she went for this, and isn't it just so pretty? Look at the color. And the fresh fruit, it's beautiful. And this bubblies. Cute. Now, a few things to note about Holland's main dining room. I know I have touched on the fact that you have to have on long pants, and that is a Holland standard. They will have some exceptions for holiday sailings and ones with a lot of kids and things like that, just because they know it's not their traditional crowd that goes with them. But I've seen them turn people away for wearing shorts on a regular sailing, including that 35-night Hawaiian one that we did. Now, beyond that, they don't care. It is slightly crazy to me that we can come in here in jeans and t-shirts, which is essentially what we did this evening. It is cold in here, so I always wear like a little jacket or sweater or a long sleeve tee. But I cannot come in here with nice shorts and a nice shirt. But that is their rule, and it's Holland's world that we are currently living in, so we are good with that. But do bear that in mind. You must have on long pants to dine in the Holland dining rooms, or you'll be eating at the Lido buffet. But it's almost the same menu as the main dining room, so whatevs. So appetizers have arrived. C must just be digging the shrimp cocktail, because I think she's got it almost every night. But these are some big shrimp, and she does love some seafood, so good fresh shrimp. I got the corn chowder. Now, when we were walking over here, C even said, "What is Holland's obsession with cream soups?" I don't know, but they're delicious. I suggest them every time. Just in case you wanted to know how much I like Holland soups, I could lick this bowl clean. It was amazing. My only regret is that I ate both softy rolls before I could come through and get the rest of this soup up. This was delicious. The best dish I've had thus far in this week of the sailing, the first week. All right, entrees have arrived. Once again, I think C's might be prettier than mine. She got the teriyaki beef with the bok choy and some sweet potatoes. Hers is modified for her dairy allergy, so she has a plain baked potato. And for me, tonight, I went for the fish. It's a nice piece of trout, some creamy mascarpone, polenta, some beans, and I always get extra lemon with my fish. So, looks like there might be dill on top. That was not part of the description, but peppers and onions and olives. Look, them tasty. So continuing with this theme of whose dish is prettier, here is C's boring sorbet. I don't even remember what flavor it is. But look at me! I think I finally got the pretty dish. It's like a trifle, a sherry trifle. Looks amazing, and it's pretty. I win the pretty dish. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, so after a fantastic dessert, my dinner was good. So he was kind of just iffy about hers, but it wasn't the best of food days. You can have those every now and again. That's what we've learned about Holland. Their menus, either we really like them or we don't. I have this spotlight on me. It's making me look like I'm an angel. But anywho, it's that same Latin singer from the other night, and we stopped by as the headlining show. We stopped by, and there were already people walking out after the first song, which was Stevie Wonder. Very superstitious. I was kind of surprised. So tonight, we're just going to hit up the Rolling Stone Lounge. They've got, I don't even know what their 8:15 show is, but they've got something, and I'm sure we will enjoy it, because like I said, this is one of the best Rolling Stone Lounge bands I've seen on any of the Holland ships. So should be in for a fantastic evening. It's also Cotton Bowl night tonight, so if the music really sucks, we'll go watch Texas and Ohio State. But this Rolling Stone Lounge band has been fantastic, and if you run into them on those ship, they have been extremely friendly on top of it. So they are very blessed, very grateful to have this opportunity, and they're amazing. So it's a win-win. We are going to call it a night. It was a fantastic time at the Rolling Stone Lounge. The set that I could not remember the name of was their dance party hits, which gave a lot of freedom to pick whatever music they wanted. Fun note about that one, their most popular song, the one that got the most people out on the dance floor, and they've got a good following. Their most popular one was Mr. Big Stuff. Not Flashdance, Oh What a Feeling, not Fleetwood Mac, not Johnny Be Good. Mr. Big Stuff. But I like Mr. Big Stuff, but I just can't imagine. Was it a big dance hit when it was new? I didn't think it was, but nonetheless, it was a great time. It finished up a great day that included me going to that lecture. I didn't talk about the lecture yet because I still cannot figure out if I like this guy or not. It was a lecture about Magellan. This guy's like an old college professor. I'm slightly, I'm not a historian, I'm not, I do like history, but I don't claim to know a whole lot about Magellan. However, there's this cartoon when I was little, and I don't even know what channel it was on. This was back when the televisions were 13 channels, and you had to walk up to it to change it, and it was a color television, though, so I'm not that old. We had color TV, but it was called The Mysterious Cities of Gold, and me and my brother used to watch it all the time, and there's this episode where he had to navigate through the Straits of Magellan. And that's how I knew about the Straits of Magellan. That's how I knew who Magellan was. So I was really intrigued to find out about how he went around the world and this, that, and the other. And we met somebody from the Philippines who's from the island he was killed on, who was she's like, oh yeah, there's a big monument and statue and blah, 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 blah. So I was super excited about this lecture. And this guy, he wasn't dry, but he did kind of have an off sense of humor. And then he kept forgetting things, and he would start a new slide and be like, oh, I forgot to tell you, going back to his previous slide. And after a while, that got a little much. It would annoy me if I was studying it for a class. It was also extremely cold in that theater, but it's a beautiful theater, but it's extremely cold. So I will go to another one of his lectures to make a final decision whether I really want to go see this guy or not. But I did learn a few new things, so it was definitely time well spent. Spent some time at the spa. We had lunch. Yes, it was a rough lunch, but like I said, there are some menus and some days that you're just not going to dig the food on a cruise, and 124 days, that is to be expected. We have bad food days at home. You're going to have a bad food day on a cruise. It's just one of those things in life, and it's all good, because you know what? There's always a room service if we get hungry. But tomorrow is Ecuador. We did go to the port talk on it. Very interesting. We're super excited about it. We also spoke with the casino host, and she said it is one of her favorite ports. And there's also a mall across the street from the port building, which we did not know about. So we might just end up at the mall tomorrow, but we might go down to the boardwalk area. I know we're going to hit up another pharmacy because C just loves foreign pharmacies. I don't understand, but that's what she likes to do. So that's part of what we do. And super excited to go. It's like the capital of the world for tuna fishing. Something new. But we're going to end this here. So make sure you like, subscribe, keep following us along to see all the adventures. And have a great night.